Hey guys! Recently there has been a game released that has taken over the world, it seems. And this game, if you're unaware, has been out for a couple of weeks now, and it's called Pokemon Go. And it looks like this. Of course, I'm a huge video game fan, but isn't everyone a Pokemon fan? I really like this game. However, when I first started playing the game, I wasn't too sure on how it worked. The only two things I knew were that one, you needed the app, obviously, and two, you needed to walk. For everything else, I was very fuzzy on, and the game doesn't really walk through with you every step of the game. And in some ways, it's a good thing, so you have to talk to other people and other players in order for you to figure out how everything works. However, it's difficult to get started if you have no idea what you're going into. So this is the video. It might be broken up into many videos just because it's a really big, complicated process. I'm hoping this won't be too long, but there's a lot to talk about, so we'll see. So the first thing I want to address, I'm using my hands a lot in this video. The first thing I would like to address is how to catch Pokemon. So Niantic has I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm really sorry. So Niantic has partnered up with Google Maps. While you're playing, it generates a map of where you are. So it has your roads and stuff. Is my camera crooked? I don't know. It's an augmented reality game. So when you walk around in real life, your character will also move. You choose your character at the beginning of the game. This is my character. It's pretty cool. So Pokemon will spawn, but they're not random Pokemon in the sense that you just find any Pokemon anywhere. What they've done is in different regions, you'll capture different Pokemon. So Pokemon that might be really rare where you live might be very common where someone else lives. For example, where I live, I only get Pidgeys. But where someone else lives, they could only get Pikachus or only get Caterpies. Also, if you have not played Pokemon before, do not fret, my friend, because you don't need to have a big Pokemon background in order to play this game. Even though I'm very familiar with a lot of names of Pokemon and a lot of different things to do with Pokemon, I understand that it's a very easy concept to grasp, because although very similar to like the Pokemon games you play on your DS or whatever, it's also different in the sense that it's a different game, I guess. It's the same game, but it's a different game, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So to catch Pokemon, you're gonna have to look in your nearby tab. This is what my nearby tab looks like right now. What you have to do to get here is you hit the little X and you click on the little nearby tab and it pops up. The ones that have 3 footprints are very far away, and currently I'm not very close to any of them. But sometimes there will be 1 footprint, 2 footprints, or 3 footprints. 3 footprints is very far away, but close enough that it's in range. 2 footprints it's kind of close, and 1 footprint means it's very close, and you'll probably see it in a couple seconds. Now, I haven't mastered tracking down Pokemon yet. Although I feel like I know a lot about it, and I know a lot of tips and tricks, there's this one part that I just don't know. So once I get that down pat, I might make another video. If this isn't already long enough. Oh my gosh. So once you've tracked down your Pokemon, or you just stumble upon one when you're walking, you're going to see the Pokemon on your map. You do not need to walk up to the Pokemon in order to catch it. If it's in your map, you can click on it and then you can fight it. But the thing with catching Pokemon is it takes a lot of practice. So when you're first introduced to the game, they briefly go over this with you. Professor Oak, not Oak, the other one. Professor Willow. This is going to be a very long video. Professor Willow will talk and he will say that there's a Pokemon nearby. This is after you have chosen your character and everything like that. You get 3 choices as to what your starter Pokemon will be. These are fairly rare Pokemon in the game, although obtainable, but they're fairly rare because they're starters. So the 3 starters are Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. I missed my finger, but Squirtle. As I said before, you can obtain all 3 of these Pokemon later in the game, but this is just your starter Pokemon, what you're starting with. There they will briefly go over with you how to catch a Pokemon. So what you do is you click on the Pokemon, it will bring you to a screen that looks kind of like this. I'm using a picture because I'm not moving, so there's no Pokemon around me right now. When you're catching a Pokemon, there's going to be a Pokeball at the bottom. You get a lot of Pokeballs to start, so you get to practice with throwing them in order to develop the skill of throwing the Pokeball, rather than having a couple and then having to go to a Pokestop right away. Pokestops, I'll address that in a second. So what you want to do is when you throw the ball, and I hope I have a picture here that demonstrates this, when you hold down the Pokeball, you're gonna see either a green circle, a yellow circle, or an orange circle, or a red circle. Around, there's this ring that expands and goes down. I don't know what this is. If the ring is green, that means it's very likely for you to catch the Pokemon if the Pokeball contacts the Pokemon. If the ring is red, then it's very, very difficult to catch the Pokemon, and in later levels you want to use a raspberry, which makes it easier to catch the Pokemon. You don't get raspberries until after level 5. I understand that a lot of this information will be kind of all over the place until you get to the level I'm talking about. You probably won't understand what's going on, but I will try to address everything that I can. So to throw a Pokeball, as they show you in the beginning, you want to arch it. So what I suggest is when you're first starting out to try to throw the ball as hard as you can, because most people are very cautious and they don't want to overthrow it. But in this game, when you're starting, I suggest overthrowing it and then you can adjust from there. But as I said again, this takes a lot of practice, so don't be alarmed or don't be shocked if you don't get it on the first try, because I didn't, a lot of people don't. So let's talk about the Go part of Pokemon Go. You need to walk around in order for the game to work. It's just fact. A little tip that I have for you is that you should keep your phone with you wherever you go. If you're in a car or wherever you are, you can snag some Pokestops or catch some Pokemon. But also keep in mind that the app needs to be on in order for you to catch Pokemon or for your steps to be tracked when hatching eggs. Eggs, I'll get into that in a second. Pokestops will look like this. That little blue thing in the corner there. That's what a Pokestop looks like when you're too far away to get. When you're closer to it, it'll look like this one. And after you go to it, like after you click it, you have to spin the little circle thing. You'll see a lot of this is hard to talk about, it's easier to demonstrate. So I'm sorry, I don't know. This is a Pokestop. As of currently, I'm not close enough to spin it, but usually you can spin it. Did it freeze? My screen froze. I currently can't spin it because I'm out of range, but once you get in range, you can spin it. What I love about this game is that it tells you right at the beginning, be careful! Be careful. Whether it's when you're riding on a bike or when you're driving in a car, I don't suggest you play this game whether you're doing either of those things. While driving a car, it's definitely not safe to play Pokemon Go, so I do not recommend it. Also, while riding a bike, it can be very dangerous as well, so I do not recommend that either. Also, when you're walking, remember to keep your head up and your eyes wherever you're going. This game has many features that don't require you to constantly look at your phone, so please, please, please do not constantly look down at your phone because you're going to miss what's going on around you and that could be dangerous. When a Pokemon is nearby and your phone automatically, like when you first start the game, it's set to vibrate whenever there's a Pokemon in your range. It shows up on your screen. You can keep your phone down until you feel that vibration, or if you know there's a Pokestop coming up, look where the Pokestop is, put your phone down, go to the Pokestop, and pick it back up. Yes, but your phone will alert you if the app is on your phone. It will alert you if there's Pokemon nearby. But I do really like the vibration, so if there's a Pokemon nearby, it will vibrate, let you know there's Pokemon. Catch it, move on with your life. So Pokestops. You can get a lot of cool stuff at Pokestops. The most important of this includes Pokeballs. So if you're like me and are in a tough situation, if you go to enough Pokestops, this will not happen to you. Obviously, I ran out of Pokeballs. This was not a good situation. But to get more Pokeballs, you go to Pokestops. Spin a little thing, and either Pokeballs, you can get Revives, which are for gyms, you can get Potions, which are also for gyms, or you can get eggs. Now, what are eggs?